I am so sorry for the wait. Cue the intro. Thank you for joining me again for another episode of Current Events. My name is Michael Jenkins. I am so sorry it took so long to get this video out. I've been working so much. My life has been going 100 miles per hour. But I finally made time to bring you some current events. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So first up on current events, there is a family in Oregon who lost custody of their two children. That's the news. They lost custody of their two children. But the kicker is why they lost custody. So go ahead and guess why somebody will lose custody of their kids. Well, this couple in Oregon will lose custody of their kids. Go ahead, I'll wait. Did you guess yet? Well, you probably didn't come up with the right answer. The reason why they lost custody of their kids, because their IQs were too low. They were deemed not intelligent enough to care for their children. That's the first one. I've never heard that out of the 30 years of my life I've been on this earth, that somebody had their kids taken by the state, by social services, because they weren't intelligent enough to take care of their kids. The second kid was actually taken from the hospital at birth. The couple named, sorry, I'm looking at my notes down here. The couple named Amy F., 31 years old, and Eric Z., 38 years old. Eric's IQ score is scored at a 66. Amy's IQ score is scored at a 72. The average person IQ score should score in between 90 and 110. So they now get supervised visitation to see their kids. Not that they put them in danger in any way, shape, or form. Not that they abused them. Not that they neglected them. That they were too unintelligent to care for their children, says the state. So now the state has custody of their kids. I just think that's very heartbreaking, and I feel like there could have been another way to resolve this issue or deal with this issue, but taking somebody's kids away because you feel like they're not competent enough as far as intelligent enough to take care of their kids, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy news to me, so thought that would be something interesting to put on current events. Next, there was a priest from Kansas City, Kansas, arrested, taken into custody for inappropriate touching. The priest was alleged to touch an 11-year-old girl in her breast area. I really don't have a lot of comments for that. The only thing I really have on that is predators come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. So keep your kids safe, keep yourself safe, because they're out there and they're camouflaging and blending in and always on the hunt for the next victim. So keep your kids safe. I really don't have a lot of opinions or comments on that because I just think it's egregious. And it's something that I don't even want to discuss, but I want to bring awareness to the parents out there to just be aware of all the signs, be aware of all the signals. Sometimes the predators don't even offer them, but I will say again, they come in all shapes and sizes, so please be aware. A New Jersey man broke into a family's home. There was two sisters at home and a baby. One of the girls were 21 years old and she had her child there as her 6-year-old sister was watching her child. The 21-year-old was in the shower, showering. She saw a man entering the home who they didn't know. The sister, the 21-year-old who was only in her towel, ran to the room where the baby and the 16-year-old was and told them there was an intruder in the home, called the cops, locked the door. She ran back into the shower area. Apparently the man came into the restroom with her while she was in the shower, took off all of his clothes, and got into the shower with her. She started screaming, "Oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing?" He said, "I don't know." And then he got out of the shower. The man then went to the kitchen and started doing the dishes. I wish I was making this stuff up, but I'm not. The cops arrived, arrested the man. He said that he was the caregiver of the home, which is obviously untrue. I feel like this is another situation of mental health. And the message I want to say behind this story is please, 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 if any doctor prescribes you medicine for some type of chemical imbalance, bipolar, whatever it is, if it's in the realm of mental health, please take your medication. Do not think that you're all healthy and good and you don't have those problems no more, so you want to stop taking your medication, because that's when the foolishness starts. Continue to take your meds until told otherwise by the physician. There's so many instances when people are on meds and they stop taking them and then they do something crazy. So again, I have nothing against people with mental health issues. I just want you to take care of yourselves and not end up, I won't even say in situations like this, and compromising situations that you wouldn't be in if you had just taken your medication. So please take care of yourselves. Story out of Minnesota. There was a suspect tossed a bomb in a Muslim church. Nobody was injured, but the thing behind this is, I think this is a direct reflection of the criminal in chief in the White House, Donald Trump. This stuff towards Muslims didn't start happening until he started screaming that negative rhetoric about Muslim people are all bombers and they're extremists and they shouldn't be allowed in this country and they need to be deported, and the Muslim ban. This target on Muslims' back did not start until he started running for president. It did not intensify until he became president. That's the person that we have representing our country, is a racist guy towards basically, in my opinion, anybody but white people. And he feels like it's socially acceptable to target Muslim people because he's clearly not getting held accountable for it. And now we're starting to have all this craziness towards Muslim people. And that, when I heard about that, it just took me back to the 4 girls in Alabama who got bombed in a church in 1963. And it's just, it's like in America, if you have a huge following, if you have a platform, you can make anybody you want a target. And all you have to do is spew out some negative rhetoric and people are just willing to jump on the bandwagon and start doing stupid stuff because the person they look up to, who has this huge following and this huge platform, told them to feel this way about this person. So now they're going to be some type of vigilante and go after that ethnic group. It's just like the same thing with black people. When that rhetoric was going on with black people, and we were a huge target by the police, by other white people, like we had to have the civil rights movement and all these historical black leaders to lead the charge and being our voice for us to attempt to bring us up to equal rights, even though we're not completely there, but we're farther than we used to be. But now I feel like it's going backwards with the president saying all this hateful and negative stuff about Muslim people. Now it's like now it's not publicly socially acceptable to blame black people for your problems. Now we're going to blame Muslim people just to have a negative charge going after somebody, I guess to reinforce his following. So, and if you really think about it, even when Osama bin Laden was blamed for bombing the World Trade Centers, Muslims wasn't put on display as they are now, because there was nobody with a huge following publicly going after Muslim people and making them a target. So after 9/11, the only thing that was really towards the Muslims is if you saw them at the airport and you were wondering if they're going to be on your flight or not, because if they were, you're ready to miss that flight. And that was just a natural fear of this had happened if I was on that plane. So now if they're on my plane, what if I end up in that situation? But I just feel like the stuff that's going on now is really out of hand and is really hurting the country more than anything. So that's my opinion on that. In other news, the NAACP has adopted a travel advisory in Missouri. That's where I'm at, in Missouri. So the NAACP organization has stated that there's a lot of discrimination going on in Missouri. There's hate crimes going on in Missouri. And to add insult to injury, Missouri has recently made a bill that makes it harder for people to sue companies and organizations and places for discrimination. That's housing discrimination or discrimination at work. So there's a travel advisory if you're black or if you're not white that you are a target in Missouri. So I'm going to stay under the radar here. And if you plan on traveling through Missouri, please be careful. They say that 75% of more people who aren't Caucasian gets pulled over and searched and everything else by the police here. So be careful. So that brings us to an end of current events. So thank you for watching the video. Thank you for all the support again. Please hit the subscribe button, hit thumbs up, and like the video, share the video, and hit that little notifications bell so anytime I put up a video, you'll get a notification saying that there's a new current events video. Thank you for watching and have a great evening.